See, we don't have a square to stand on, right? We don't have a throne of our own. And that's exactly why we teaching what we teaching. This is the ancient Moomyan throne. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's go through the stairway of heaven and get into this. I like that you just said that. Hold on, let me show you another one of these real quick before we, hold on. Let me show you something. Uh-oh. See, I look like an eye? Uh-oh. I thank you for listening. I thank you for seeing. I thank you for being. I thank you. Uh-oh. I'm glad to say that we got this from God, our ancestry. All of that. You see? Thank you. People don't understand time is more valuable than money. I can't get that back. I don't know what people thought. I do not exchange my time for money. Just because I accept donations don't mean that I exchange my time for money. I exchange my time for you. Might sound like BS, but the works is done. So I ain't even got to do all the talking. I ain't got to be stressed that you don't believe me. Try to prove this, try to convince you it's good. It's good. Thanks, but no thanks. You get my drift? It's good. Nah, I did that for you. Like I said, I wasn't lying. All them times I said it, I wasn't lying. For you, our children, all of that. You get what I'm saying? And so did the people that's here with me, because we all one body. So don't just look at my flesh. Understand it's a soul. It's a soul to this, man. Yeah, but I did this for us to organize. Got to have something to come together on. I did this so we can be able to omnify/unify. I did this so we can spend time with each other, be able to really listen to each other. You get my drift? All them reasons. All them reasons. Yeah, all of that is covered, G. If you want to, you could just enjoy. You know what I mean? I know you're going to have a lot of questions in this, that, but those questions ain't for me. That's the creator asking you questions. What do you know about that? Whose flag is that really? A nation that's posing? And it really belongs to real people? This is, now don't get it twisted. This is a part of our flag, though. This is our flag, too. But this is not our national flag like you think. You get what I'm saying? This flag was symbolic for something. This flag meant something. But this portion of this is not about the flag necessarily, even though we're going to talk about the flag. Right now we want to talk about civics. So let's get into this. This ancient Moomyan throne right here, as you can see the works, you see the throne of God, as they say. The reason why the being is blue is because it's symbolic of the what? Sky. You know how people joke about the sky daddy? Well, our ancestors believed in a sky daddy and a sky mother. The blue sky symbolized the blue spirit. Do you notice the throne he's sitting on? This is where all of the nation's flags come from. Learning this knowledge right here, in private, in secret, or in public. You semi-learn this type of knowledge in school, whether you know it or not. When they start teaching you civics and all those things and they didn't tell you where it came from, that's because they constructed something to get you to serve them. You get my drift? Versus really teaching you how to honor those that came before you and showing you how to honor those that come after you, which are your children. Because this is deeper than we think. They utilize it to get you to work for them instead of working with them, which is what we need to do. This flag is about us joining with other beings that are on this particular part of the land, what they call the United States. The reason why the flag looks very similar is because we used to help nations, and you see the gold fringes around it, that's symbolic of, see the gold fringes around this? Notice even the scriptures speak about the fringes, right? This is politics. We helped people establish their nation. So when people came amongst us, we helped civilize them. So when you're seeing all these different civilizations of today, and remember what I told you, nationhood today is all about business. But nationhood with us is all about family. That's why I spend time with you. Family spend time with you. I don't just tell you something and get out my face. Nationhood to us is about family. I don't disrespect you behind the screen. I don't disrespect you on the screen. People may hallucinate and think I'm talking to them, but if I ain't say your name and you ain't coming at me, I don't know why you got in the middle of that. You get my drift? We don't take that much responsibility for our own things that we do wrong. You get my drift? So aim that there. If you're going to aim it. You get my drift? So no. A part of our private curriculum, we do learn everything. Not just who the flag came from, but where the flag came from, and really take you through the order so you understand how all of this came about and we can live in honor. You get my drift? Because back then, everyone would have needed a family flag, a family this, a family that. And I'm talking about the point in time we were civilized. There was a point before this where we were uncivilized. And we're getting back to that. Yet what they call Morocco was the first nation to recognize the U.S. Yes. And that happened right over here. Those were Moammiyans. Moomyan is an omniversal term. We accepted them. That's how they got the knowledge. Just like I accept you. That's how you're getting my knowledge. What you do with it beyond that, that's going to be on you and weighing on your heart. We all got this freedom. Everybody don't recognize you. You can go in plenty of people's videos. They don't recognize you. You can support and like and love a bunch of people. That don't mean they recognize you. You could buy every product they got. That don't mean they recognize you. They might recognize what you do for them. That don't mean they recognize you. Just like that coat. Sure. They recognize what you do for them. They'll recognize you, though. That's why if they pull you over, who are you? Where's your driver's license and da-da-da-da-da? Y'all should know who I am. We supposed to be a family. I wouldn't say they separated us by religion and nationality. Each and every last one of our families have a choice to choose. So we need to take responsibility for what we choose to do. Because back then, none of these religions were separate nor divided. None of these nationalities were separate nor divided, even if we were spelled a different name, had different colors or whatever the case may be. That's why we say one nation under God. Because it lets you know there's more nations within it. But that don't mean we're not one big family. You get my drift? Now, if we're one nation under God, then that means once it come to my family, that nation is a nation under me. Once it come to your family, that nation is a nation under you. Once it come to her family, that nation is a nation. So can't nobody be running around here like, oh, this person run me, this person control me, this person tell me what to do, this person. That's not how it works. So we're getting back to real freedom. But not to disrespect what's already out there, because that's going to bring war your way. We don't want to cause issues. We don't want to put you and your children in a bad situation. So we want to learn how to defend ourselves, but also how to respect ourselves and to be ourselves. So during the time of 1776, those nations, or those what they call colonies, got accepted by us. The people that were particularly on this land at that time teaching this knowledge. Because when you came over here, the first thing you had to learn was about us, where you are, who you are, yourself, what's going on. You get my drift? You might think politics ain't important, but no matter where you go, it's politics. Whether these people are organized or not, doesn't matter. Wherever two or three are gathered, their God is in the midst of them. And they can reject you and deny you or accept you in their heart, in their circle. Or they can cut you out. See, we don't have a square to stand on, so to speak. A flag. Look at what the Creator's sitting on. See, this was way more sacred back then and special than we think. This wasn't just about, oh, this, that. These flags wasn't just tied to no just land like people think. No, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to take our time now. I want to show you really what the Moammiyans was all about. because we're still here today. I don't want people to think that we're gone, right? We're going to break down what all of this means, but you see the cube. See the cube. See the lines. And once you start going through our works, you'll notice a bunch of different thrones, because we were helping people establish all the nations that were established back then. And whatever those nations chose to do after they were established was on them. So that the United States of today did betray us. The United States that was implementing things we did not agree with, they did betray us. If you think there's not a divine law for every land, there is. That's why the Bible is so prevalent over here. It's not just because of God or whatever the case may be. No, it's because of law. That's why if you go to a courtroom, you're going to have a Bible in there. See, they can have their own version, which they do. But that version reflects something ancient that's in stone. See, over here we learn how to read ancient works and modern works. We learn visually and through sound. We don't just take people through sound and never really show them anything. Yeah, they keep changing it because they're trying to change the spells. It's called a translation. They're into magic over there, the evil magics. I know we're called Mental Magic Omniverse, but we feel like life is magical. So when we speak magic, we are speaking our own words. We're speaking our own terminology, our own defining meanings. We don't mean the type of stuff that they participate in the hallucinations and all of the things, because they lead their people straight to hell, literally. No, we're not with that. Life is magical. Me talking to you right now is magical. Everything we've been through right now, leading up to this point and every point further moving on beyond this, magical to me. Breath, magical to me. The fact that I can see, I can hear, I can feel, magical to me. I don't wait for them to define it for me. I live from the inside out. I don't live from the outside in. When what you have is pure and true, it doesn't change. See, the works that we have and that we're showing you right now, it hasn't changed. We're teaching you the same things from the stone that we would have been teaching you from thousands of years ago. That's tradition for you. That's why I'm proud to be a Moomyan. We didn't have to change nothing. We didn't have to switch nothing. Why? Because our ancestors were right the whole time. Get my drift? Which way they're facing? Right. Okay. They were right the whole, so why change anything? We don't need to change nothing. We just needed to grow and elevate. That's all, and experience. And that's exactly what we did, and that's why we carry on these traditions still to this day. I can't speak for what you are. But if you want to learn what you are with the Moomyan, you can inbox us at Mental Magic Omniverse, right here, this page right here. Through Facebook, or you could email us at mentalmagicomniverse@gmail.com. And as far as mindset, Moomyan. Like, I don't want to just tell you that, though, because this is not about just claiming something. We don't just claim something. We really follow the rules, the principles. We really got up out of that cult. We really got up out of this world. We really do services for the world. We really do services for our community, for our people. You know, we really do have get-togethers. You know, we really do organize. We really do everything our ancestors did, we really do. So I don't want to just, like I said, that's why I said I don't know what you are until you tell me, so to speak. Now, I get what you're saying, though, as a whole. Yes, we are Moomyans, but it would be colonizing for me to sit out here and say that's what we all are, because that's what everybody else does. So I'm cool with that in my heart. But I understand everyone has a freedom to choose what they want to be, and to claim what they want to be, and to declare or to declare, because that's what we do on our side. We declare what we want to be. We don't necessarily declare, because that's going the opposite way, you know, devolving, get my drift, denotion. So we want to go the right way instead of going the left way. So we do declare And that's exactly what you saw us doing. You know, that's the world knows about Moammans because of Moammans, not because of the internet, not because of books, because of our works. Get my drift? And that's how we all should be as a people. That's how we all used to be as a people. We didn't live off other people's works. We lived off the works of our own. We didn't go copying other people's works and none of that. People have become culture vultures just because they realize they don't have a culture of their own, and they start reflecting that culture because it looks like that culture is winning, but really that culture is losing, even if they have a bunch of money or a bunch of this, because they're taking advantage of their own people. That's all you got. And you're going to suffer sooner or later taking advantage of your own people. That's loyal to you, that's honorable to you, that's truthful to you, that's real to you. That's why so many people are going to come to you broken in this lifetime. Because they dealt with that cult, because they trusted in that cult, because they believed in that cult, because they gave countless hours that they're afraid to mention to that cult, because we all got initiated. That's what school was about. Didn't they make us pledge allegiance to the flag? Yes. See, we didn't just give out our knowledge back then. So that's why the betrayal of the United States hurt so much. The false side, or I'll say the other side of it, hurt so much. Because we didn't come looking for them. There's people of all complexions that come from all sides. We didn't come looking for people. So when they came to us seeking for the knowledge, we accepted people in our heart. We accepted them in our home, no matter their complexion, no matter their height, no matter their weight, no matter whether they had money or not. Yeah, but we're not here to talk about them illy, because I don't even know you like that. So I'm not one to band with people just because we got a common enemy, so to speak, because you may be an enemy too. Let's get to know each other. Not here to dog them. I'm here to really educate people on what's going on, because even though there's a lot going on and they have done a lot of evil, you get what I'm saying? It's still some innocent people involved in that, so to speak, and we want to make sure that we help get them out the burning house, so to speak, before it burns down, versus throwing more, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to do that. I don't use the language to talk ill on none of that. It's already hurting itself. So I'm going to delete the comment. Hold on. And nothing against you. But yeah, I'm not the type to sit around with other men that I don't even know and talk ill about somebody. That's gossiping, G. I'd rather you and I get together, organize, and talk about what we need to talk about, and establish what we need to establish, so we won't have this issue no more. Or we can minimize it. That's all we need to talk about. Beyond that, nah, I'm good. I ain't mad. Let them do whatever they want to do, because I'm doing what I want to do. You get my drift? Now, moving forward. We still keep parts of our traditions up when it comes to this, because every last one of us have a last name. That's part of the initiation. That's why you had to learn spelling. You had to learn numbers so you could learn the so-called year that they created of when they so-called got established. But what if I told you they never truly got established? What if I told you documents was falsified and forged? And that's why the spirit is still against that cult to this day, even though new descendants are down here and don't even know what the heck is going on. They plan still not working because they did not do it the right way. See, when we talk about these type of things, you could think we joking. When we tell you something is watching our every move, we're not lying. That's not to put fear in your heart or to get you scared. You should be happy something is watching you. That's called protection. You're only worried if you're evil and on some stupid stuff. Get my drift? And you wouldn't even be that close to it if your heart wasn't even turned that way, to go that way. See, it matters about this once it comes to the flag. You get my drift? Because what does the flag represent? This is where the flag came from. I want to give you the original meaning. I don't want to give you a bunch of spells and say the flag represents the this, that, the dot, the dot. I'm going to show you what our ancestors said it meant. I'm going to show you what the original said. I'm going to show you. I ain't got to say nothing. I let the work speak for itself. Said, what do I mean watching? This is what I don't want us to do. Lower our intelligence when we come around each other. That's not, I don't have no issues or questions. That's not something I think that we need to or should have to ask each other. You get my drift? And if so, then it's a lot of time that you just got to spend going through these videos and learning, because it is broken down, you know. And if you're ever interested beyond, you know, what's out there in the public, so to speak, like I said, we got a full-blown curriculum and working on even more as we speak, believe it or not. But no disrespect either, you know, but I know you know exactly what I mean by watching, like what you're doing with this video. And you got your feelings about it, you got your thoughts about it, right? You're either gonna do something about it or do something for it, or you're not. Like, the Creator got them same type of decisions that it make with each and every last one of us, just like we make those type of decisions with each and every last person that we come across in life, whether good or bad. The flag is about the ribcage. Right chest. That's why you put your right hand over your right chest and you pledge allegiance to get initiated into their society, into their politics. So even if you feel like you're not a part of that, if you believe that the area or the land that you're on is the state name they gave you instead of Moam, which is what our mind is collected on, because we do learn geometry and geography. So that's why these works are important, so we can really actually organize and come together, because we can't talk about it all day. We have to be about it. And we have to have something that we come together on. But if I give you a divided land, just like what took place in this area and in this meeting room, of course your mind is going to divide. But if I show you the real map of the world and show you, and when I say I'm a Moomyan, that's based on the land I derive from, which is this whole land, and I can tell you which side and portion I came from. So I'm technically not divided from my family in Africa just because I'm in America. I'm not divided from my family in Europe just because I'm in America. I'm not divided from my family in Australia just because I'm in America. I'm not divided from my family in Asia just because I'm in America. I'm not divided from them. And we communicate through spirit, sound, vision, like what we're doing right now. Get my drift? See, we learned something, but we didn't really learn it. They just told us. That's possession. More and more for more Rocheto or Malagra. But over here, we actually learn. And you have to go experience it yourself. This is not just, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Oh, no. No, you still have to go experience it for yourself. You can't be ignorant. You got to know what the world is. You got to know what it look like, because if not, you're going to be out there fighting, debating, arguing over these type of matters. You get my drift? Versus standing on your square. Now, when you spell it properly, the word is right chest. The word right chestness comes from two words put together, right plus chest. That's mathematics. See how mathematics even applies to language? That's another reason why we posted this right here, just to show you our language is more ancient than people think. Ancient Moomyan carved stone letters and numbers built in Asia. See the T, 2, S, 9 curved, another 9, U, F, R, 3J. See the 0, see a bunch of other, hold on, I'll show you more. Language is very important because it helps us form. It helps our minds come together. You get my drift? Hold on. Here's one of the languages that we're currently learning, because we're not the type to go back to the past. We come from the past. We want to move forward to the future. You get my drift? That's what we came to do. And then there's people that came from the future that's looking back to the past, which are our children. That's why it's important for us to know our history. That's why it's important for us to respect our history. That's why you see all sides of our history on this page, because I claim all my ancestry. That's a part of civics and law. You have to claim them. If you want to be claimed by them, you have to claim them. You can claim a certain particular section, but you only welcome to that section beyond this. And there's a good and a bad side to it too. So don't think just because you accept it to that side is, you know, you get my drift. When you accept them all, you can go wherever you want, because you good in the hood, as they say. And this is an ancient Moomyan stone found inside the pyramids alongside the Mississippi River. So this lets you know what we was doing hundreds and thousands of years long before so-called 1776. And this is no disrespect. If we wasn't doing this, then guess what? This nation wouldn't even be here today. So they don't have to appreciate us for what we did. You get my drift? I don't expect for them to appreciate me for what my ancestry did. That's why we putting in works now. See, I'm not trying to ride off the coattail of my forefathers. I'm not trying to ride off the coattail of my foremothers. You get my drift? I'm not trying to ride on their coattail. No, I'm not trying to ride off how good and unified they were. I'm not just trying to ride off how smart and intelligent they were. I'm not just trying to ride off how rich and wealthy they were. I'm not just trying to ride off how unified they were. I'm not just trying to ride off how amazing and ... No. Getting myself together too. Getting in order. Following in the footsteps, which is what it's symbolic about. Then we talk about steps. Then we talk about stairs. And we talk, oh, we talking about stairs, ain't we? Steps, okay. It matters. It matters, Jay. Hold on. Let me find this. And then we're gonna go upward. We're gonna go back upward, back to the flag. Alright? I got the right from my ancestors to be here, to do this. They granted me the permission to do what I do. I don't need the permission of a coat to do anything. We're not lawless or any of them type of things. We do our thing, and we enjoy. You get my drift? So as we spending this time together, you know, just let it settle in. But you don't have to try to force it, because it's a lot to be done through time. You get my drift? And I don't just want us to reflect them physically. I want us to reflect them spiritually. Hold on. So now we're gonna actually start at the bottom, and we're going to ascend together. That's what I'm going to do. All these years of works, we're going to ascend together, but I'm going to focus mainly and primarily on the post that I can utilize for a civic purpose, to help us just get back to a civil place, not just in this world, because just like you can move to a better neighborhood, you can move to a better world right now. You don't have to die to go there. That's what that cult would love for you to believe. Okay? Yeah. And we're going to break down all that stuff, but I want you to just see how far we came. Okay? I want you to see how far we came. We had to have this knowledge to teach this knowledge. You're going to learn exactly what this is about as we go through this video, as we ascend up this. This is symbolic for the heart carrying the cross. The reason why the cross has the X right there in this ancient Moomyan text, this text is at least over 5,000 years old, believe it or not. And it has two sides to it because your heart has two sides to it. So let me bring up a few different screens so I can really do this. Hold on. Let me actually bring up a few different screens so I really do this. Open this screen, actually. Okay. We're about to heart sin together. Let me get this set up real quick. We're about to heart sin together. Hope y'all ready. Gonna bridge in some of the old with the mid with the new. And you can see how these works can be utilized in your home. You see how these works can be utilized in your neighborhood. You see how these works can be you the truth. Okay? So I want to show you an image of the heart so you won't just be having a belief. The legs being separate in this ancient Moomyan text, which is over 4,000 years old, is symbolic of the ventricles of your heart. The ventricles, there's a point where they separate and there's a point where they step together. When their feet are together, which is the bottom of the pyramid, which is actually the apex. When their feet are together, believe it or not, they move as one, as they say. When their feet are separate, they do something different. You get my drift? They do something completely different. See the loops, which are the veins and the arteries? See the size of the face with it facing that way? See, back then, this is just symbolic of spirit. When you close your eyelids, it's symbolic for the heart. This is the inner being, believe it or not. So that's exactly where this knowledge came from. The people who carry this knowledge today once carried this knowledge, or at least learned it, believe it or not. So this was not to build no hate or anything. This was to help them even understand a part of their history that they're missing. There isn't no accident or coincidence that it looks alike. And the hands and the feet are nailed to the cross. And most people would not think that this is a cross. But keep in mind, crosses do not just go one way. Crosses go multiple ways. So if I tilt your cross and tip your cross over, now it's an X. X-Men. Y'all ready to go deep? Ancient Moomyan stonework built in America and in Africa. Let's figure out what it means, though, because our ancestors didn't just build these things for no reason, nor did we just accidentally have the same knowledge all over the world for no reason and just, ooh, this is just creative. Ooh, let's just do this. We wasn't bored like that. You get my drift? What is this X symbolic about? There's something that the Creator put within you, inside your abdominal walls. See, beneath the abdominal walls and the walls of your body, you have a whole bunch of organs that people don't even realize exist. And this is an anatomical overview of just that, right? Here's your right external oblique, and here's your left external oblique. You see the different angles? See the symbol that it make? And the Creator created this. No man created this. There's a real order going down. And this is of your intermuscular exchange. Your what? Intermuscular exchange. What's a prime example of your intermuscular exchange? Let's not just look at the physical. Have you ever, been beefing with somebody and internally you shook hands with them? Not physically seeing yourself shaking hands, but you finally came to accept whatever it is that happened so you could be able to move forward? Boom. That's your intermuscular exchange. Or you ever looked at somebody internally and thought about all the negative things, or even just put negative things in there, like you're hesitant and thinking that this person will do something. So now you start getting separate from this person and more divided. That starts all in the heart. And it sends signals through the intermuscular exchange so your muscles can follow. It works a whole lot of ways, but I just wanted to give you an example so you wouldn't be confused. And here's the big Moomyan stone that it's on. So you can see the area where it's at, so you know it's not an accident. This Moomyan stone is way older than people think. The column behind is symbolizing the spinal column, which rests behind the actual Moomyan itself. You see this right here? Oh, we're going to go deep with this. See it right there? Look at that. Notice the wings. See, when our ancestors first saw this, we noticed something. That looks like a bird. See, we started noticing because they even had to experience what the Creator had done for them. And once they started learning and understanding what the Creator had done for them, it sparked their heart so much that we basically unlocked the intelligence and the love and the compassion within us. And that's how we start building all of these works. Look at this. Look at where it's at. You see the chest area? Why is it the abdomen area? Why is it just in the abdomen area? This was built in Africa. Look at this. This was built in Illinois. Why is there birdmen? Why are there two birdmen? And you see that on the head? Very similar. I know some people are like, man, that don't look like that. Man, that look like this. Well, it's not symbolic of a person at all. Remember how I told you? Nothing that we did was based on an actual person. That's symbolic of your rib cage. The nose is the sternum. That's why it's so long. It's a bird nose. And on the back of this stone, you see the X's, the crossroads. That's what this is symbolic about. The crossroads between right chest and left chest. You carry this all day. You carry your cross all day. That's why it says you must bear your own cross. That culture tricked us into believing someone else can bear our cross. We are purified through this knowledge. We're purified through the works. Yes, because you have to learn these things, but no, you have to be responsible. If not, your body is going to continue to get heavier and heavier. And I'm not talking about your physical body. I'm talking about that body your soul carries. Get my drift? See? That checkerboard, it's day and night. But on a minor scale, that's in your abdomen region. So I wanted to give you the original meaning. I didn't want to make one up, because I could have came out here and said, oh, well, this symbol symbolizes this, and it's evil, and it's blah, 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 blah. And it's, no, I understand that what people choose to do with something is good or bad, but there's no such way that a symbol can be evil. It's a symbol. Get my drift? And what you see on the Moomyan head, just so you know, that's that right there, that's the sternum. Right at the top of the head coming down, that's the sternum, standing right in this area. You see this face right on this Moomyan? Looks like an animal, right? Might say it look weird, right? What is that face symbolic of? Your pelvis. Notice it looks like a creature. Our ancestors are smart. That's your pelvis. That's why it's at the pelvic region. Get my drift? This is symbolic of the heart. The head is facing right, symbolizing righteousness. Remember, all of our hearts, or all of our heads and all of our bodies symbolize righteousness in the heart. This is not of an actual person. This is all within you. I'll show you this one at the top, then we'll move to the next one. Yeah, that's why they had to make the sides to the story, you know, but one side gonna be truth, one side gonna be another side gonna be a lie. You get my drift? So yeah, we're gonna go right there, and then we're gonna go to the cross. So notice this cross is in the X form. Notice this cross is in the X form because it's about the heart. It's about the heart, which sits right behind this column. Let's move forward. And you got to walk righteous every day. See, this is being weighed every day. Every day you get an opportunity in a situation to do what you do. And if you think your heart is not being directed or whatever the case may be, or you're not getting somewhere or whatever the case may be, trust me, it matters. All of this is not there for no reason. It matters. It matters. Even this that you see right on the side, curving with the right triangle, that's just showing you the right side of the actual stomach. That's all that is. That's the bottom layer. That's right beneath this. Right beneath this, you see this? Boom, that's the pyramid. That overlaps. So let's go to the next post. I just wanted to correlate that with this so you wouldn't be looking at this like, that's weird. Where did that come from? Well, people today still use these symbols. Get my drift? They still use the knowledge. They still carry it on. They're free themselves. That's why they can call themselves whatever they want. They can do whatever they want because that's their society. If you're not a part of their society, then you need to establish your own, because I guarantee every last one of you are benefiting off their society if you don't have one of your own. That's one thing that we have to understand with establishing righteousness and honor and understanding these things, because you cannot be using another people and not caring about their politics, yet you care about their benefits. No. Stop using their benefits then. You get my drift? Stop using stop using people and organize and build with your people. That's what will prevent us from being in these type of situations, and let them be their own little people like they want to be. Because then you'll find out they don't really want that. They don't really want to be alone. You get my drift? They don't really want that. They don't really have all of the knowledge because they betrayed us before it was over. They got what they wanted, and that was that. But then later on, they've realized, damn, we need more. Gonna need something else. If not, they're just gonna keep repeating the same thing. They didn't add illustration to our ancestors' history. They just created their own stories, and people choose to believe it. I'm telling you our ancestors' history right now. You know, only we, the descendants, can speak for our ancestors. It's up to us on whether we choose to accept it. You know, we can accept each other in our heart, just like we accepted the books they gave us, just like we accepted the few little paperworks they gave us, or you know what I'm saying. We stop ourselves from that, and that's why we continuously worry about and think about they, because we have not taken that next step into trusting in our own people. Even those that prove themselves, even those that show themselves, even those that risk their own life. You get what I'm saying? We take our time making decisions around these type of situations like we're not in the middle of real wars and real situations and got all day to think and got all day to do this. No, like we got real reactions. You get what I'm saying? So why did they give us another image? They didn't. What were you doing in their coat? See, you're going to have to acknowledge what your family did not do in this generation to realize how you even ended up in their school or in their building. They showed what they wanted to show to their people. They didn't switch nothing. They gave what they wanted to give. They didn't switch nothing. When we taught them this knowledge, they were supposed to make their own version. We didn't want them being us. We didn't want them copying off of us necessarily. We wanted them to have the knowledge, and we established them as a people, just as we helped everybody else to get established. That was the whole point of us getting the knowledge in the first place, so we can help others. So this was supposed to actually be reflected, not copied. The only thing that's not being reflected is the knowledge is now gone about these works. Get my drift? Like the seal. This is the Moomyan Seal. Night sky behind it, pyramid. See the pyramid with the eye on top? Nighttime sky behind it, in a circular form. This is our seal. This is about business. This is about family. This is from our ancient Moomyan Codex text. You get my drift? Hold on. This is one of our lodges. This is a Moomyan lodge built in America. They didn't give us anything. If you go to their schools, that's what they give their people. You shouldn't have been there. You got to acknowledge that your family failed and that they didn't do for you, and now you needed another people. Hold on, you said that's what I'm saying. Why didn't they keep our belief in our image? They wasn't supposed to. You were supposed to keep your belief in your image. That's not someone else's responsibility, because you want to do other stuff that they got to believe in your ancestors' works that was created for you, only because so they can tell you when you ready. Do you see what type of mind we be having? You probably wouldn't even do that for somebody. Why would we even think that they supposed to do this for us? Or why are we supposed to think just because we taught them something that they supposed to just stick with our version? Our version is of our complexion. Our version looks just exactly like us for the most part, even if it's not exactly us. So, of course, we want to make or allow people to have their own version if they want to, and if they choose to have us too, that's even beautiful. If they choose to mix both, that's even beautiful. But we were not in disagreement of them making their own. That's why we taught them that. Like I said, the only thing that was lost was the knowledge of it, for them to see what it was. But no, we have to, no, I took responsibility. I'm going to just talk to you two. I don't even want to say y'all, because this is between you and I. You asked me, you're going to have to start taking responsibility for what you have done. You're going to have to start placing responsibility on your family, too, for what they didn't do. You ain't finna keep being able to blame other people that's still probably helping you more than your relatives is today. You're going to have to realize you got to get your family together. We're going to understand how important these works are, and why someone would sit up on the internet and talk to you for hours upon hours upon hours and leave all this work out for you. How did we wind up in these schools? Because you don't support your own. You don't trust in your own knowledge. You don't trust in your own brothers and sisters that have the knowledge. That's how. You like warring with them. You like arguing with them. You like doubting them, right? You like seeing them struggle. That's it. That's it. That's how. That's exactly how. How do they have schools? They support each other. They all believe in the curriculum that's within the schools. They all make sure their children are going to go. That's how. It's a mind thing, a collective mind. That's what our works taught, how to come together as one. And they were supposed to also come together with us too. But it's hard to come together with us when all we do is fight and argue. Which is why I even got out of that mindset myself. And now, can't nobody just come over here, you my people, because we got the same skin complexion. I was deeper than that, G. Sorry. That spell don't work with me no more. You know, oh, I don't fall for a woman just because she looks like this or looks like, sorry. You could be a rotten soul up under that. Don't care. I don't fall for dudes just because they come around me and use a bunch of big words. The Pythagorean of the equilibrium of the collatericity will basically help you with the synchronicity of the Bacchamismus and think this person just conscious and out of this world. No, you're actually in that world. That lets me know you're in that. That's what they do. That's how you're actually in it. You ain't paying attention to space. You ain't paying attention to what's really going on. You ain't helping none of your people with that. You actually separated yourself even more from your people versus finding something or developing something that's going to help you get closer and come together. You get my drift? All these works, people had to learn about all of this. I'm telling you how it got established. How the United States got established and how your society got destroyed. Because guess what? I can go back to the past and say, well, they did this, they did that. But guess what? We can't change that. Okay? I don't sit around and give myself high blood pressure over something I can't change. Okay? What did we do? It's something we still doing. Ignoring each other, not supporting each other, avoiding each other, not speaking to each other. Not loving each other, not appreciating each other, not just one time, not just two times, all the time. Once again, we used to be righteous people like that. That's what we still not doing. So regardless of what they supposedly did or didn't do in the past, guess what? They did not stop our ancestors. They did not hurt our ancestors. They did not harm our ancestors. I know because they the ones that's been helping me beyond y'all that's been helping me in this lifetime. So I know they're not going and hurting. Trust me. It's those that came against them that's hurt right now. That's why all this happening right now. If they wasn't hurt, people would be able to be cool and just enjoy what they have. Instead of trying to still get more, still just trying to get this and that. And you get what I'm saying? So no. What destroyed our nation was not just the wars that we had with them or whatever. It's the wars that we had with each other and still have. That's what's destroying us. Because even when we get reestablished, which we are, welcome to Mental Magic Omniverse City. If you ever want to learn more about us as a people or as a whole or whatever the case may be, reach in. Email us at mentalmagicomniverse@gmail.com or just check us out on YouTube right here, Mental Magic Omniverse. Check us out on Instagram, right here. Or you can check us out on Facebook. Right? This is my personal page right there. Frank Burrell, don't mind me more. I mean, Frank Burrell, I'm just a nobody, right? Or you can go to our society page, our family page, and there's plenty more Moammyans out there that'll be willing to help you in a split second. That'll be willing to be there for you, listen to you, vibe with you, chill with you, all that. We ain't just about one team, man. We're not just about the one team, man. We're about every team, man. We're about every team, man. So no, we focus on us over here. We don't focus on that. Because what you focus on, you empower. So even if you hate them people, even if you hate that nation so much, focusing on them, you're still giving them more power than your people. Even if you sat up and woke up every day and blasted them for the next 10 years, you missed 10 years of opportunity to unite and build with each and every individual that may come your way that next day, that God may send your way. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not on that side of the world to where I'm so fixated on destroying them. I'm all about building my brothers and sisters. And that's what I keep my focus on. I really don't give a damn what they doing. They got a right to do it. It is what it is. My question will be, what was you doing over there? See, as a society, we got to look out for our people. We got to check our own people. We got to make sure our own people know where to go, where not to go. We got to make sure our own people know what to do, what not to do. We got to make sure our own people understand what's really taking place and what's really going on, because what's really going on is nothing but a covenant. It's nothing but a covenant. We pledge allegiance to their flag. This right here is the sacredness. Why do you think your language start with an A? Do you see the A hidden in there? You see the A? They tilted it. See, they knocked our flag down. They knocked us off our stand. That's all. We pledge allegiance to their flag. Now they knocked our stuff down. The A used to look like that, at an angle, symbolic of something. See how that looks like a flagpole? Like I said, this is all about you. We pledge. It's on a ledge. Got the right foot forward, stepping in righteousness. You get my drift? And this is just a hieroglyph. That's why the key word in knowledge is what? Owl. Do you see the owl on the edge, on the ledge? You see the owl on the ledge, the knowledge. See, we pledge to knowledge. They made us pledge allegiance, pledge allegiance. That really say a leg. Notice the leg is up. Peep the key words in the spells. Pledge allegiance. Like we step for each other. That's what it's really about. Pledge allegiance to the flag. See, we pledge allegiance to the knowledge because that's what brings us together. We pledge allegiance to love. That's what brings us together. We pledge allegiance to honor. That's what brings us together. We went back to our ancient ways and our really eternal ways because the world's still doing this. The creator's still doing this. Other creatures still doing this. It's us that's out of line. You get what I'm saying? It's our species. And I say that just because even if I was sitting over here all perfect and never doing nothing wrong, I am still a part of this collective body. So I still have to take responsibility in the simple fact that guess what? Us as a collective still matters because I still could have did something about it. Not to change everybody, but I still could have did something to where it would have helped. And you know what I'm saying? I still could have opened that door for somebody. And I didn't want to be that type that didn't, knowing I had the power to. I'm good. Because we got a covenant with God. Look at this. The covenant, the ark of the covenant. All these modern day stories is cool, but we want to kind of help you understand where that came from. That's symbolic of your rib cage. The chest. See, that's why in Matthew chapter 6, verse 21, it tells you, for wherever your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where is your heart stored within your body? Inside the chest. Ancient Moomyan Ark of the Covenant, built in Africa, of course. In the chest area. See, this is the spine. This is the cervical part of the spine. That's why it comes up like this. This is the sacral part of the spine. The boat paddle is basically the vertebrae. See how the vertebrae hangs off of the ship? How do we know these are ships? What's the key word in ship? Hip. What carries this? The hips. The hip bone connected to the leg bone. The leg bone connected to the leg bone. Leg bone connected to the... Get my drift? See the red and white stripes? That's symbolic not only for your intercostal muscle functions, but did you notice on the American flag, it's not just about that blue box. Did you notice that there's red and white stripes? So you think this is a coincidence? Right chest. Remember I just showed you that the flag is symbolic of the chest? And we're going to be going over this a whole lot. We got this supremely. Trust me. We got a lot to talk about. But everything can be talked about out in the open, which is why we have what we have available for our people. And we open our doors for our people to build with each other. You think that's an accident? You okay? Yeah. Oh. See this? We want to say in heaven nation, or in heavenation, and exhalation. We don't want to say inhale, exhale, because words are powerful. Words get you to where you are. Trust me. So when you say inhale, exhale, I don't care how they spelled it. What did you just say? You have to pay attention to what's going on. But no, this chest area, the white symbolizes the bone, bad to the bone. The red symbolizes the intercostal muscles themselves. This is what the actual chest looks like during inhalation. Inhalation is what? When you're receiving. See, your heart has to expand. Your chest cavity has to expand in order for you to receive. The same with your mind. That's how you get somewhere, by expanding, taking steps. These different Moammiyans that you see are symbolic of the rib cage. That's all it is symbolic of the rib cage. They symbolize different rib cage. That's why the key word in tribes is really ribs, is really tribes or ribs. It has R-I-B in it, ribs. Ribs. Say, what's the left chest? Unrighteousness. You got those that's being carried off to unrighteousness. You got those that's being carried off to righteousness. That's the whole point. Our ancestors wouldn't have told us about this unless it was real. unless there was something that we really had to learn and look out for and make good decisions for. They wouldn't have taught us all these morals and principles. We weren't just in there learning how to build buildings and this, that, and look cool and sit around and talk about each other like kind of what they do in that society. No, this is real. We had to learn to make a decision before we left. If not, something is going to make a decision for us based off our actions throughout this lifetime. I got to go drain the magic dragon. I'll be forward. Hold on. All right, y'all. Had to drain the magic dragon. And keep this in mind for anybody that's in here. If you're brand new, or if you've been around for years, you know, and you feel left behind, or you might feel, you know what I'm saying, like you got to catch up or whatever. Yeah, the true sound doctrine, G. You get what I'm saying? We do have everything stored in the heart. So when you see me showing our curriculum and everything, you know, all of the knowledge is stored for you, believe it or not. So take your time. You can get it whenever, believe it or not, because I don't really come out to Facebook to do all of this. I wanted to give you all a taste of what we've been doing in private and what we do in private, which is even better in the actual videos, courses, and books, because I don't have to deal with enemies, so to speak. You know, there's nothing but family around when we do those courses, so to speak. So it's a lot different. And we even have courses coming up in the near future, too. We don't have a set date or anything. We never do that. We try to move off the creator's timing versus our own, believe it or not. But no, I want you to understand that all of the works and all of the knowledge is stored. I really come out here to socialize with y'all. I don't come out here to try to give out all my knowledge, give out da-da-da-da. I don't do all that. I don't even know these people for real. So I don't want to just be this. That don't mean we not family. See, I have an understanding, but I do want to just get to know you. I'm not trying to portray nothing. I'm not trying to act like something. You know, I did this to serve a purpose, but I see, like I said, that if we're not going to take the next step in organizing, there's no point in you knowing what I know. If we're not going to take the next step in loving each other, there's no point in you knowing what I know. If we're not going to take the next step in helping each other in some form of fashion, there's no point in you knowing what I know. If you're not going to really be there for your family, there's no point in you knowing what I know. If you're not really trying to help your neighborhood, community, or whatever situations you're faced, there's no point in you knowing what we know. If you're not really trying to get out of this world and do what's right by God, and you know what I'm saying, prove yourself just like all the rest of us have to, there's no point in you knowing what we know. We did this so our people know that we are here, right? Anybody that share this type of stuff, they automatically become a disciple of God. Because that's where I got this from, not because they say it. I didn't make this up. I don't mind being honest. I know how crazy it make me look to people, because like, boy, how can you prove that you, by standing on what I said? You don't see nobody else with it but Moammans. And that don't mean other people works ain't this. So this is not to big us up or to put nobody down. You're learning history about the people you're dealing with, so you know who and what you're dealing with. Now, if you become a Moammian and all that, of course you're a Moammian disciple, but even if you don't join us, just you being a part of this and sharing this with your children, talking about, you already a disciple of God. I don't choose that, and I don't force people in our little order. You don't have to. You can make up your own rules, principles, whatever the case may be, based on what you and your family need. Our curriculum and our things are set up for you to see what all there is to choose from. Structure your own. You know, take control of your own. And yes, it's respected by the state. Yes, it's respected by the country. Yes, it's respected by the nations, because this is what they are doing. You have every right to, too. Just do it in a professional, intelligent way. And really heal from what that cult did to us as a people and did to you in this generation. And also have some mercy, because you did stuff to people too while you were, out of it, if you know what I'm saying. That's where you had that mercy at, because you don't know how much you may have affected somebody else. So that's why, when I be thinking about forgiving somebody, and I'm not hard on it. I don't care what you did, because I know that even if I did something minor, it's not about what you feel you did. It's about what the other person felt, because God not weighing you. God weighing the other person when it come to what somebody did to them and vice versa. You get my drift?